Hello everyone, it's Curtis Watson back with another behind-the-scenes look at American railroad adventures. Today we're looking at the final installment of the Fallen Flag trilogy, as well as the arc as a whole. In this episode, we see the kind of condition that Royal Central and its engines are in after going bankrupt. I did a lot of weathering on all the cars, almost to the point of being unrecognizable. The sad thing is, this isn't too far from how things really looked. If you watch the 1974 film produced by Penn Central, which the scene of a derailing boxcar was inspired by, you will see just how bad things got. This film, as well as the 1968 film Call Us Penn Central, inspired the newsreel scenes in these episodes. We also see the new paint schemes for Jesse and Arnold. While the American Passenger Rail Company is based on Amtrak, I went for a very patriotic red, white, and blue scheme. The RailCorp paint scheme and logo is heavily based on that of Conrail, which the government created in 1976 to take over Penn Central. Finally, one scene shows the Staggers Rail Act of 1980, which is a real law that deregulated the railroads to make them more competitive with trucks and airlines, among other things. This law was one of the most important actions of the 20th century regarding the railroads, and while I don't have enough time to talk about it in depth here, I would highly recommend doing your own research on it if you are interested. So, the Fallen Flag arc took place over the course of 20 or 25 years, from the rise and fall of the Royal Central Railroad to the formation of RailCorp. These 3 episodes were meant to focus on a handful of characters who would live through these events and how they coped with them. In real life, the debacle that was the Penn Central merger was far more complicated than I was able to show. There was so much economics and politics to it, from ICC oversight and regulation to the government creation of Amtrak and Conrail and the eventual deregulation of the railroad industry, that I couldn't possibly tell the full story in 3 episodes. Therefore, I tried to write about how these events, whether or not the viewer is aware of them, affected the main characters. Up until this point, we hadn't seen real wear and tear on locomotives or rolling stock, but in these episodes, our characters start to look pretty beat up and worn out. I used more new animation techniques in these episodes than any before, allowing me to show trains passing each other, arriving in stations, and even derailing. I toyed with the aesthetic of 20th century film reels from the 1950s, 60s, and 70s, and most importantly, I used character dynamics to drive the plots. The rivalry between George and Oscar, the relationship between the brothers, John and Arnold, the everyday hardships faced by everyday engines like Gregory and Brenda. The politics and economics of railroading are the foundation of these episodes, but the characters are what drive the stories. In the end, did these episodes turn out exactly how I wanted them to? No, they didn't. But I think they came out alright. They achieved their main goal, to give the viewer an idea of what things were like in the time period. They present a digestible slice of real-world history, told through the eyes of talking trains of all things. I hope you enjoyed Fallen Flag, everyone, and I know we left off on a cliffhanger, but don't you worry. Soon enough we'll learn just what's happened to our friend Arnold. Until next time, thank you for watching, and have a good one.